Farhan, Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
This is going to be a slightly weird interview because Wazir is a home production,
That's
so
right.
I can't actually plug it, so we're not going to talk
I'll,
about it.
I'll do it instead.
Yeah.
I'll do
Wazir, no matter what you're asking, Wazir.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So Farhan, instead of asking you anything about Wazir,
Right.
I'm going to instead tell you stories that your family has told me about you.
Right, okay.
Okay, let's begin with one that Zoya told me.
Right.
She said that when you were a teenager, you would watch movies, and if you really loved the movie, and depending how much you loved it, you would become the character.
That's true.
Okay, so if you loved it, it would be a 1 week in character. If
Yeah.
you didn't like it so much, it would be 1 day.
Yeah.
But apparently, you saw Die Hard and became John McClane at the Nakatomi Tower.
At the Nakatomi Plaza.
Yeah, Plaza. Sorry, Plaza. And she walked into the room, and you punched her.
I used to go around the house with this fake toy gun that I had, pretending to be John McClane, and that there are terrorists hiding in different corners of the house. I mean, that's a, whatever, 60-story or 80-story building. Mine's like a 2-level house. So there are fewer corners for the terrorists to hide in. I could chance upon them a lot faster than Bruce Willis could. So, but anyway, so I thought I'm going to open this door and there'll be a terrorist behind this door. And I'll hit the terrorist first and then I'll shoot him. Right? So I opened the door and Zoya was about to open the door and step out. And like when your punch is gone now, you can't do anything about it. So, I mean, I controlled it as much as possible once it had left.
But it had left.
But it had left. So, it got her on the nose.
Oh.
Yeah, and she kind of fell down, and I've been paying the price ever since.
So you always a performer?
I was always, I mean, on some level, if you want to call this performance, but I was very influenced by movies when I saw them, which is why also I realized the influence that movies have. Because as a kid, I was very influenced by them. So, things that we do and things that we propagate, I understand that there is an influence of that on impressionable minds.
You also in interviews, Farhan, talk about a peg, something to draw on when you start to create a character. What is a peg?
Well, it's something that, I mean, what do you start building this? I mean, of course, the first thing that you get, I would say almost as, is the body of text. You know what I mean? Of like, this is what the journey of this character is going to be. And you get most of your background references of who the character is, where he's from, so all that helps. But eventually when you have to start like kind of making it a 3-dimensional person, I feel it's important to find certain things that you can start building off. And for different roles, there are different things. It doesn't necessarily need to be one. It can be different things. And I feel that a lot of it you get from sitting and talking to the writer. I think you get a lot of that.
Do you do that? You
Yeah,
sit with the writers?
I do that a lot. Because I feel like there's a certain clarity that they have because they've been living with it for so long that they have a visual in their head of what they want this person to look like, be like.
So then
that
you try
helps.
and get closest to the visual they have in their head.
Yeah, that is important. That is important to do.
Is that also, you think, a function of being the child of two writers? That you put so much emphasis on
I don't know if it's that, to be honest. There is a certain respect for that craft, definitely, that exists because of what they do. But I think it comes also tremendously from the influences of actors that I have, and seeing what all they've put into their roles that have impressed you so much. And whenever you've read, if there's ever been books about how they created those characters or directors talking about working with them, you realize that it's not easy, and there is a lot of effort, pain, sacrifice at times to be done to be able to accomplish a certain thing, and I think that's the enjoyable part of acting, where you can stop being yourself, for that period of time and become somebody else, and then kind of find your way back to where you were.
Okay, story number 2. This one's from your mom. So she said that when you were about 4 or 5 years old, she was in a meeting and you walked into the room and sat next to her and gave her these sort of Bambi entreating looks and said, and she just was like in the middle of work and she wanted you to leave, and she said, okay, what do you want? And you said to her, whatever I'm asking for, don't say no. And she was like, yeah, whatever, just say it and I won't say no and we'll be done with this. And you said, can I please go bathe in your room?
Correct, that's right. Yeah.
She said, what's the big deal? And she said yes. And meanwhile, you had a nanny who for some strange reason called you Bulbul.
Yeah, that's right. She was a Goan nanny.
So the Goan nanny was making these faces like, this is not a good idea. But Honey would not listen to the nanny who called you Bulbul and said, yes, go bathe in my room, and went back to the meeting, and 20 minutes later wrapped it up, went into her room, and you were bathing on her bed.
Yeah, that's right. I'd taken a tub, I'd put it on her bed, and I was having a bath on her bed. Because, Zoya used to always, I'm serious. It was like a thing, because Zoya used to, I don't know why, she'd say this to me, and I don't know why it would even get under my skin. It's so silly actually if you think about it, because I was very happy having a bath in my own bathroom. But she would always say, like, and anything, if we ever had an argument, which we used to argue a lot, about silly things, she would always be, but I had a bath in mom's room, And I always felt like
that makes me
her
better
closer.
than you.
No, it makes her closer, and she gets the special privilege of being able to have a bath in mom's room and all. And it was really like, after a while, it started getting to me. And she'd say to me, like, she'd tell me things like I'm adopted and all that stuff also. And then adopted thrown in, which she can bathe in mom's room and I can't, so like all these things.
They preyed on your mind.
They really did. They got me very paranoid, and I was like, I must put an end to this by having a bath in mom's room. So, and I really thought that she used to have a bath in mom's room, because she never said bathroom, So I was like, wow, she gets to have a bath in mom's room, so I must go and have a bath in mom's room.
And that's what you were doing?
And that's what I was doing.
Because Honey said, to this date, I have not figured out why he was on my mattress. Yeah. We had to change the damn mattress. I had no idea what he was doing.
I was having a bath on her bed. I'd taken a tub, put it on a bed, and I was like just taking this, like, so happy that finally this thing is like happening in my life.
And you are loved.
What a strange feeling. How interesting that people bathe like this also.
So, but Honey said you were a nightmare.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And she said that I'm so amazed at what he's accomplished. And she said that I'm so proud of what he's done. She said, I had no hopes for him at all.
Yeah, I think she was, I gave her also a tremendous amount of reason to be concerned and to worry. I was very aimless here, and especially in like the second, third year of college, I just stopped going, and I would just sit at home all day, and watch movies. I think the one thing at least I think that she was kind of relaxed about is that I'm not like kind of out there like, I don't know, doing drugs or because I was only at home. I used to just sit at home, and I used to just be in this VHS ka drawer, and I used to just keep pulling out movies, and I would finish one, take it out, put another one in, and then just watch it. And I did that for like almost a year and a half. I don't know how they put up with it, to be honest. Yeah, of course it's frightening. And I find it amazing that how patient my mom was, that she actually allowed it to last for that long. But I think she was really, really concerned about what was going on till the shit hit the fan.
And then she was going to throw you out.
Then she was going to throw me out.
So, Farhan, you've seen great success, but you've also seen failure as both an actor and a director. Yeah. Is there a difference, and does one hurt more than the other?
No, I don't think so. I think, in all honesty, probably the biggest disappointment that I felt was during the Lux time. I don't think after that I felt that kind of disappointment again. One, I think because it was the first time something like that happened to me. Secondly, the kind of effort that went into making that film. Like somewhere you believe that if you give something so much,
it'll work.
There's no reason it shouldn't. If for no other reason people will appreciate the effort. I don't know.
But you don't get marks for trying.
Yeah, you don't get marks for trying. So, it was just like, I wasn't prepared for feeling that way. It took me at least, I think, maybe a year to easily, to get my head out of what was going on with that film. I think also from there, like there was the lesson that I learned was with film and with this kind of work that we do, nothing is guaranteed, and at the end of the day, you just pick yourself up and move on to the next thing, because that's really all you can do.
You and Zoya are so close, you work together, you collaborate in every way possible. Is there ever a moment of insecurity in terms of, as a director, that she's being considered a better director? Do you ever think about it?
Not at all.
Not at all?
No. I don't have these equations with anyone. There are certain areas in life where I'm seriously competitive.
Like what?
Like sport, or game.
I have seen you run at that sports day at our school, at our kids' school.
Yeah, that's right.
This is a race at which the parents run. So parents like me who are seriously unfit, don't attempt it. I know you, I've seen Shahrukh do it, I've seen Arjun Rampal ace that, and then I saw you like a bolt. What? Those poor men who've been sitting behind desks, they're just like...
You can't do anything about it. By then I was in sports, I was in athlete mode. No, even in my head, like there is no.
I'm going to screw your happiness.
There is no fun race. There is no fun race. When you're training, your mind is conditioned that if you're running, you will run.
And you will win.
Yeah, of course, and you will win. I mean, otherwise, don't run, you know. So that was the first time ever in my life, never before and never since, have I felt personally that I'm unbeatable. Like, you know, nothing can beat me today. There is no chance anyone can win.
And I think the numbers 2 man was some...
I don't know. I didn't look. You're not supposed to turn back. That we learned from Milkha ji. Don't turn and look back ever. So when it comes to sport, so yeah, like I play volleyball with my friends. Then when game playing, you know, like board games, we play CNET and Trivial Pursuit or Pictionary or whatever it may be. I'm hardcore competitive.
Really?
Oh my God. Like fights. You know, like that kind of competitive. But when it comes to this stuff, somehow I don't have...
When it comes to your craft, your art, you're not.
No, I don't have feelings for people who are my contemporaries or people who I work with that I wish them all well. I have no issues of I want to be better than. I don't have that at all.
Farhan, your IMDb listing has the first credited, in fact, an uncredited camera assistant on Lamhe in 1991. Is that right?
That's true.
Is that what you were?
That was the first job that I got.
That's the first job. So that's your first listing.
That's my very first job ever, to work with Mr. Manmohan Singh, Manji.
And did you learn anything in that job that still holds you in good stead today?
You know, actually the most important thing that I learned in that job was that I'm interested in direction. I think that's...
Really?
Yeah. Because when I was there and I was working with him, firstly it took me really long to find my voice on set. You know, because everything is really loud on our film sets. So when Manji would say, "Arey, wo 16 number wo karo," you know, you have to repeat it as the assistant with full gusto. You know, "Ganpat, 16 number," you know, like that. You have to yell. And I used to find it so like difficult to be able to shout.
You're like whispering quiet.
Yeah. So just be like, "Suniye, arey wo Ganpat ko bolna, 16 number," like all this stuff. You know, like zero confidence in whether it'll be the right thing or not. So all this stuff was going on. And but then while I was there, I kind of was watching what Yash Uncle's AD team were doing, and Adi was kind of, like, I think probably not the chief, but he was there.
He was on the team.
He was on the team, and I used to see what they were doing, and it was like a lot more holistic, no? Because it's not only about camera. They were like dealing with choreographer, they were dealing with actor, they were dealing with script and dialogue, and all that stuff was going on. And I was like, wow, this looks very like interesting. Like you're getting a more, like, you know, it's more rounded, the experience of being on a film set. So that's when then I told mom, I'm like, you know, I think I want to become an assistant director. So I'll figure something out. So that time she was writing Himalaya Putra, is what she was writing. So, and Pankaj used to keep coming home. So I spoke with him. So I said that, you know, I've been working over here and I think I want to be an assistant director. So he said, aaja tu. So I was his 9th assistant or something at that time, giving clap and doing stuff like that. It was nice. I had like the job of waking all the cast up in the morning in Dalhousie when it was freezing. But all that stuff used to go on. So I was responsible for them. It was a great experience. And I must say, like, he was very cool actually, Pankaj, to work with, you know, and like, because he was very, he would listen to you, you know, if you had a thought.
And by then you had found your voice.
By then, I mean, I had like enough courage to go and speak to him and tell him, like, if I was feeling like, why don't we try that shot? Because again, I was just coming from that visual space. And he would encourage it, you know, to be able to do it, which was quite nice.
Farhan, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Hi, this is Farhan Akhtar, and please subscribe to Film Companion. Click here, or you can click here, or if you want, you can click here. It's up to you. Enjoy yourself.